Hi everyone, back with me Andreas here, and this video is made for the English Club of the Business Faculty Widya Mandala Catholic University in Surabaya. Thank you for asking me to make this video so that I can share my knowledge about teaching methods, especially teaching English. Right, there are two things that we need to focus on when we deal with an English club. This club is expected to be able to help its members to improve their pronunciation and English knowledge, definitely. In this case, you need to focus on the accuracy and fluency. And I believe that you are having the correct idea of establishing an English club by having two main streams. Like you told me that you want to have a class that focuses on the conversation, definitely that will deal a lot with role play, yeah. And then the other class will deal a lot with the structure, or we call it structure class. That's a good start. Basically, it's a very good start. But then in this video, I'm going to focus on how the tutors or the English trainers are supposed to teach their members in this English club. Well, basically it is a club. So basically you just share your knowledge, your experiences in learning English with them, and you help each other to create a community that can help each other to grow, to learn together, and yeah, to improve in your English, of course. Right. In this video, I'm going to discuss 6 teaching methods that are considered to be popular in the field of ELT, English language teaching. I'm sorry, English language teaching, and I'm going to use the handbook made by Diane Larsen-Freeman, a very well-known teacher educator in the field of English language teaching. Right. Without further ado, I will show you the documents that we are going to look at. Right. I'm going to share my screen. Yeah. And I'm going to show you what we are learning. Right. First of all, yeah. I think I'm going to use another document. Yeah, this one, and I'll open it here. Right. As you can see that it's still loading, of course. And as you can see on the first page later on, it will deal about audiolingual method. Audiolingual method. When you deal with audio, it means you deal with the listening, of course, and the modeling. That's the correct word, the modeling. In this case, the tutor is the role model. It is the figure that the members are imitating or trying to imitate or trying to learn from. Now we will discuss about, we will talk about audiolingual method. Audiolingual method deals a lot with a process of habit formation. I really like this particular method because it forms habits, you know, because when you have good habits, it becomes characters. So if you have good habits in learning English, it will internalize, it will be crystallized, and then it will be part of you basically. And then I really like this method because I myself also learned English previously using this method. Yeah, before I forget, actually there is no such kind of term called the perfect method because every method works on its own. What I mean is that every method is best for its own sake. Okay, I will tell you more about it on each method. So first of all, audiolingual method, as I told you, it is a habit formation process. It focuses on that. And the second one, it is very important for the teachers to prevent student errors, since errors can lead to the formation of bad habits. It's just like teaching someone a new habit, you know. If you like teaching others about how to play games, for example, You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You try to correct your friend, not to do mistakes, in this case, errors. Basically, the main difference between a mistake and error is that mistake is not yet crystallized, it's not yet fossilized, but errors are mainly fossilized. I conducted my undergraduate thesis focusing on errors. So yeah, I agree that errors should be eliminated, or in this case, mistakes should be eliminated by giving corrective feedback. You give corrective feedback. For example, if you hear someone saying feline, what is feline? No, it's not valid, it's feline. Feline. What is feline? Feline is the synonym of cats. Yeah, feline. And then, can you differentiate between feline and villain? Villain. A villain. You know villain. Villain is an enemy, but feline is a cat. Yeah. That's an example of correcting errors. So error correction is very much emphasized. Number 3, students should overlearn the sentence patterns of the target language. Overlearn. So not only learn and achieve the certain target, but again and again it is repeated so that the members of the English club will not do the mistakes anymore. In this case, the technique, we have the method and we have the technique. The technique that is commonly used for this method is PPP. PPP, or 3 P's, yeah? Present, practice, and produce. Yeah, present, practice, and produce. The teacher presents the English form or forms, and then asking the students to present, yeah, by following the models, and then they produce their own. Present, practice, and produce. This is very much teacher-centered, of course, for this audiolingual method. And the fourth one, positive reinforcement helps students to develop correct habits. Reinforcement, you need to give compliments to your members if they do good things. You say like, good, very good, excellent. Yeah, it's a compliment that can reinforce them to learn more and more and to be happy and to be glad they achieve what is expected by the tutor or the teacher in this case. Okay, so basically this module, the paper that you're looking at, is focusing on videos. The videos will be given to you through links, or if you can open your YouTube and you can just type audiolingual method by Diane Larsen-Freeman. There will be like 6 or 7 videos there, and you can click on the audiolingual method. But I want to focus on the things that Mrs. Diane Larsen-Freeman said on the passages, okay? As the lesson began, we saw the teacher presenting a dialogue to the class. The students just listened to the teacher at first, because one of the ALM teacher's major roles is that of a model of the target language. It means you give examples. As I told you earlier, the role model, the only model that the students have in the classroom is the teacher himself or herself. And then it is the student's job to repeat as accurately as they can the teacher's model. Repeat it again and again. For example, okay, feline, 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 feline. Yeah. Villain? No, not villain. We're talking about feline, feline. Canine. You know canine? Yeah, the dog's police. Yeah, the police dogs. Sorry, my bad. So canine, canine. You know, repetition is very much emphasized in this case. So one of your techniques is to repeat again and again the words that you want them to learn. The more often the students repeat something, the stronger the habit and the greater the learning. Yeah, I think this happens very much when you learn things when you're much younger, right? Okay, the next thing is that we saw how the students stumbled over one of the lines of the dialogue. They were repeating. Yeah, some students stumbled over some lines on the video. And when this happened, the teacher used a backward build-up drill with the troublesome line. So if you find the students or the members mention something wrong, you need to stop him or her. Excuse me, it should be this way, not that way. It should be this way. Repeat after me. Repeat after me. Like doing stuff, doing repetition, again and again. So you directly point out the mistakes, and then you correct them. Okay. He started at the end of the sentence and had the students repeat the final phrase, as I told you earlier. To this, he added each phrase in turn until the students were able to say the whole sentence smoothly. Yes. And then next, the teacher corrected the students' errors in other ways as well. Yeah. Providing errors or feedbacks does not necessarily um, to be direct feedback or corrective feedback. You can use it indirect feedback. Okay. Okay. So for example, you don't say, no, you're wrong. No, that's wrong. This is right. You can say when he or she pronounces the word wrongly, you don't correct them, but you show them directly. Like, mm, for example, the students or the members say, Valin is a synonym of cat. Valin is a synonym of cat, and then you repeat, yes, Karen, it should be feline is a synonym of cat, sort of. Yeah, you don't point out the mistakes. You don't say, sorry, I mentioned it should be, but yeah, you repeat it by yourself. By then, he or she indirectly understands that, oh, he or she got it wrong earlier, right? Yeah, it is important to prevent learners from making errors, since errors leads to the formation of bad habits. Yeah, so this is one way to teach, by eliminating error as early as possible. It should be strongly emphasized in this kind of method. And then later in the lesson, the teacher uses grammar drilling. Drilling is asking the students to do activities over and over again, right? Yeah, so not only learning, but also over-learning, not only achieving the target, but again, give them more exposure to the things that they need to learn in this case. For example, the sentence patterns of the target language. Yeah, that's an example of it. And it is believed by those who use this method that it will lead to automaticity. Yeah, it will be innated by them. It will be learned. It will be strongly rooted, and they will say things automatically. Yeah, yeah. And then this might be the last point about ALM. Yes, right. Before we move on to the community language learning, you may have noticed that the teacher often said "good" or "very good." Yeah. So when you repeat, okay, canine, good, yes, very good. Again, appraisals, compliments are good for them. In this way, he positively reinforced his students' work. Yeah, the teacher reinforced the students' work. That will help the students, to develop correct habits. Yeah. And then it wasn't until the end of the lesson that the students go to see the written version of the dialogue. So basically, the teacher models the conversations, and by the end of the activity, the students are given the text, and then they learn, oh, I already knew how to pronounce these words. That's uh, what is inside the student's mind, of course. And this is consistent with the audiolingual method principle, that speech is more basic to language than the written form. Speech is more basic to language than the written form. So audiolingual method. So I remember that this method is popular in the early to mid 1990s during the World War II, I think, and one and two. And the soldiers of Germany, I think, learned English by using sort of headset and repeat the English words, and then repeated the English words. For example, what can you say? Weapons, weapons, weapons. And then you listen to the word and then you repeat it by yourself. Okay. For example, I want to teach you about the word inextricable, inextricable, inexorable, inexorable, inextricable, inexorable. Repetition, repetition, repeat it over and over again is a good example of audiolingual method in this case. So this is about the audiolingual method and the technique that you can use, PPP, present, practice, and produce, that is very much popular. And I will go to the next video. For now, I'm going to stop sharing and then I will end this video and we will move on to the next method that is called community language learning, that adds more values to the human characteristics instead of just giving them, asking them practices to do over and over again. The term community language learning adds a certain human value in the method, right? Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you in the next videos. Cheerio!